it's hard to imagine that the mighty Dodge, a name synonymous with power and durability in the United States, struggled to find long-term dominance in the British lorry market. Yet, that's exactly what happened. In the mid-20th century, Dodge made a significant push into the UK and European commercial vehicle markets with its Dodge 100Q series and later the Dodge Commando and Dodge 50 series, aiming to challenge the likes of Bedford, Leyland, Ford Thames, and other domestic giants. Despite Dodge's global reputation and initial promise, it ultimately failed to beat the entrenched British lorries. And the reasons for that downfall are a complex mix of economic timing, local preferences, production decisions, and market-specific engineering shortcomings. Dodge trucks in the UK were initially well received during the post-war era. The Dodge 100Q, produced at Chrysler's plant in Kew, London, featured reliable Perkins diesel engines, such as the P6, a 4.9-liter inline-six producing up to 90 horsepower. These engines were well matched to the needs of British hauliers, simple to maintain, and capable of pulling decent loads. However, as the commercial vehicle market evolved, Dodge failed to keep up with the rising expectations for refinement, reliability, and innovation. When compared to Bedford's E-Type or Ford's D-Series, Dodge's models began to feel dated and unrefined. Bedford offered superior ride comfort and a better dealer network, while Ford continually invested in newer technologies and driver-focused designs. Meanwhile, Leyland, though struggling in later years, had a wide reach and strong identity in municipal and heavy-duty applications. One of Dodge's biggest mistakes in the UK was its failure to properly localize its engineering. While the American versions of Dodge trucks were built for long, open highways, the British market demanded compact maneuverability, fuel economy, and adaptability to narrow roads and tighter turning circles. Many Dodge trucks sold in Britain were essentially American concepts modified for right-hand drive and UK emissions. Rather than being designed from the ground up for local use, this created performance mismatches and a perception of Dodge as a foreign brand that didn't fully understand British needs. Maintenance issues also began to mount as parts availability lagged behind, and dealers struggled to keep up with more complex imports, compared to domestic manufacturers who could offer faster turnaround and broader mechanical support. Another critical blow came from changing economic conditions and policy shifts. During the 1970s and 80s, the UK automotive sector experienced both industrial turmoil and government-driven Dodge's parent company, Chrysler, sold its European operations to Peugeot, which later tried to continue production under the Talbot brand. However, with no consistent strategy and limited investment, the Dodge name gradually faded from the commercial vehicle scene. By contrast, companies like Ford doubled down on their commercial offerings with ongoing support and innovation, capturing more of the market share that Dodge was trying to claim. In historical context, Dodge lorries did play an important role in post-war reconstruction and early logistics in Britain, offering tough, no-nonsense workhorses that were especially appreciated by small operators and export markets within the Commonwealth. Yet that legacy was not enough to carry the brand forward. When competition intensified, today, Dodge has no direct presence in the European commercial vehicle sector, and its historical models are now mostly found at vintage truck shows or restored by collectors who admire their charm and utilitarian appeal. Looking to the future, the role of Dodge trucks in Britain may be more symbolic than practical, as electrification and automation reshape the landscape of transportation. Brands with deep regional roots and adaptable platforms are set to thrive, unless Dodge or its parent brand understands a calculated return with modern, Euro-focused commercial models. It's unlikely to reclaim any substantial share in the UK lorry market. However, with the rise of retro electric vehicles and a growing market for heritage branding, there's a sliver of opportunity for Dodge to reintroduce itself, this time with the lessons of the past firmly in mind.